Hello, it's Sarah Berry here from stampwithsarah.co.uk. I'm an independent Stampin Up demonstrator, and all the products that you see me using today can be purchased in my online shop. If you need a catalogue, if you haven't heard of Stampin Up before, if you would like me to be your demonstrator, then I will happily send you a copy of the current Stampin Up catalogues. If you go to stampwithsarah.co.uk and request either both or one or the other of these, I'll send them out towards the end of the week for you. So we're using a brand new release from this autumn winter catalogue, and it's called Spirited Snowmen. This is the stamp set. You get 3 images of the snowmen. This is the couple, the Mr. and Mrs. This is the sort of jumping snowman that I've used on this card today. I thought it would be nice to have a go at one of the other snowmen, which would be this one today. So let's get started. So you will need the following products. You need an envelope, you need a Night of Navy base card, and this is just a standard C6 scored in half. This is 10.5 centimetres by 14.8. Then you need a piece for the inside and the insert, your layer on the top, and then also a piece of scrap white for our stamping and die cutting. So the first thing I want to do is stamp some of these snowflakes. So you'll see I've stamped snowflakes across the top and just a little bit round here. So I'm using Pool Party ink here, which coordinates with this cardstock. This is also Pool Party. Just making sure I'm going around the top where the circle's going to be, and then just perhaps a little bit underneath. Alright, that's all we need. And then while I've got the Pool Party ink out, I'm going to stamp the inserts, because I've taken the snowflakes on the inside of the card just down this edge. So for that, I've stamped and then rotated the stamp just so it's different all the way down. There we go. We'll leave that to dry. So next we want to get our embossing folder, and this is the softly falling embossing folder with a large concentration of snowy drops at the top, and then as you go down they trickle out to be quite fine. So you want to place this card towards the bottom of the embossing folder. Can you see how that's going to look? So I'll run this through the big shot. Okay, so there we have our snowfall and our snowflakes. Next, what we need to do is stamp our snowman. So when you get one of the stamp sets, you just pop the rubber stamp out. This is the clear mount option, and that refers to the block that we're using, the clear block. I'll take this one off. You just take the paper backing off of the stamp, and hopefully he'll fit on this block. Yeah. This is block D. Our scrap of paper here, this is just thin Whisper White, our standard Whisper White. So what you can do is roughly position your die that we're using, so we know that we're not going to be too close to the edge, if that helps you. So I know I want to stamp about there. use the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. This is our standard ink that we carry. I may need to re-ink that. There we go. Oh, isn't he cute? And then while we've got the ink out, I'll ink up the winter cheer, and I'll do that up here. So both of these can go through the Big Shot at the same time. One like that. He just fits nicely in the circle, and then one like that. Okay, so these frames that I'm using are called the stitched frames, and you get 4 circles, 4 squares, and then 4 ovals, all ones that nest inside each other. So that's it, that's that part done. So next we want to colour this snowman in, and for that I'm using our watercolour pencils and the blender pen. Now the blender pen is basically a clear ink inside of the pen, and it helps smooth out our watercolouring. So we just colour as if we're using crayons, and the first colour is Early Espresso, and for that I'm going to colour just a little bit on the arms for the twigs for his arms, a little bit by his feet. And then next I'm going to do his nose in Pumpkin Pie. Then the buttons down the front, they can be a different colour. I'm just going to go with black. Next is the hat. That was Pacific Point. This is Melon Mambo. And then I'm going to repeat that for the scarf, following these lines. Now you can see I'm not really paying any particular attention to staying within the lines on this scarf, and I'm not going up to the black edge either, and that is simply because we don't need to be very accurate with the watercolour pencils, because the blender pen is going to do the magic for us. Now the boots, I think I'm going to colour in the yellow. So as I said, these are like magic. They have a clear ink inside. On both ends are exactly the same. When you colour, always start with the blender pen on your scrap paper. Make sure there's no colour left on the end of that nib there. The colour on the nib will start to change. It won't always be completely white. You can see this one is very pink, but it still runs clear. So don't worry about the coloration on the end of the tip there. So take the nose and just smooth that colour out. That's done. Get rid of the rest of the orange. And then we'll do the shoes, the ice skates, sorry. And then again, get rid of that yellow. You always want to make sure you're getting rid of the colour when you change, because if I was to go from this black now to say colour the hat, that's going to make it a muddy colour. So always do one colour at a time, and then change, get the excess ink off on your scrap. The watercolour pencils make it so easy, and you can quickly do some in front of the TV because you don't have to colour in really precisely. It basically just smooths all that colour out for you and fills any of those white spaces that you left. There we go, and now we'll do the arms. And then the buttons. I can go straight onto the buttons because the brown and the black will be fine. I'm just going to add a touch on the top of his hat. There we go. That's him all coloured in. Now we do want to do one more step, which is with the, what's it called? With the Wink of Stella. I've forgotten what it's called then. Test your Wink of Stella and just add a little pearly shine to the body of the snowman. You don't really need to squeeze, it just trickles out nicely for you. Don't squeeze it at all, it's not like an aqua painter. And there we go, that's him coloured in. Can you see that shine? Can you see that shimmer? And here's the other one I coloured in. Okay, so that's those two. Now the rest of the card is pretty straightforward. We've very nearly finished. Just want to glue this all together. So I'm using Tombow to go on the back of here because it is forgiving. It will slide because it's a wet glue. Putting a little bit more on than I would normally do because of the embossing. There we go. One of those, and now we want the dimensionals to go on the back of this circle, and for this, because it's quite large, I will put 5 on because we're catching the surround and then the centre. And that, remember, that fills that gap. Love it. And now we've got winter cheer, just needs the 1, and that goes down here. And then to finish, I've got some of our Night of Navy gingham ribbon. Just tie a bow. Keep tweaking it until you get it right. I don't cut my ribbon length, I keep it on the reel and then keep tweaking it until I've got it to the size I want. Okay, and then we can chop the tails. These are our paper snips. They're very sharp, perfect for the ribbon. Now, to glue this on, I've just got some of our glue dots, and we just want a couple of them. And that sits there. Now, what I did also do, as I've forgotten to say, is I just added a little bit of watercolour pencil down at the bottom, just to give it a bit of, to ground the image. There we go, and then add a bit of Wink of Stella on the snow. So there we are. If you want to go back over any of this, you can do. You just need to make sure that you leave the blend ink to dry a little bit, and then you can, so we can make this even stronger, and then you can just go back over it and make that really blue. So there we are. I hope you've enjoyed this card today. Something a little bit different with the Spirited Snowmen. As I said, this is a new stamp set from the Autumn Winter Catalogue, and if you're interested in finding out any more about it, you can click to view my my blog post. All the information is at the bottom in the description below this video on YouTube. If you have any questions, please do let me know. I'm happy to help you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Take care. Bye.